had booked a flight to America, to Texas at the beginning of September, and I was going to do, with a friend, I was going to do Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, whatever. But anyway, that's all sort of gone wrong now because this friend of mine can't go. I was thinking either I don't go or I go on my own. Now I'm sort of getting worried about it. I mean, before I've done American trips on my own, but then I had a friend in California, and I did a big one a couple of years ago because something really, really awful had happened to me, and I was trying to get over that, and I felt that it was something that I needed to do. But travelling on your own as a woman can be fraught, but it's not just that. So now I would have to be thinking, you know, I'd be travelling on my own. I've just had this accident, so I'm still not able to wear jeans yet because even though my knee is healing, just the fabric touching my knee really, really hurts. It's getting better, but it's still weeping and everything else is very unpleasant. So I haven't been able to get back on a bike yet, and I had that horrible hire thing. My cafe racer in the barn has got an electrical problem, which is why I haven't been riding that, but I'm going to try and fix that today. You get on with it now. I'm here to help. So it's not just that I'd be going on my own, it's that after this as well, it would be a big thing for me to be, you know, riding around America for 2 weeks on my own after this crash, knowing that I'm riding on the other side of the road, which I'm okay at, straights and stuff like that, I'm okay. When it comes to junctions, I'm awful. Because if there's a sort of, I mean, I remember in California coming to this, being silly and filtering all the time, getting to the front of this queue of traffic, and then I knew that I had to go left and then right, and like my brain just froze, and I was thinking, oh god, I can't remember which way to do it. So I did it without even thinking properly. I just did it the English way, and luckily it was okay. But I can be slightly daft sometimes with things like that. But then I don't want to be daft if I've had an accident. And then, so I'd like to go, but then there's that sort of worry. And, you know, as I say, you know, being on your own as a woman, it can be difficult. And I've had, you know, certain situations which aren't great. So then I thought, what about audience participation, suggestion, invitation, something like that? So maybe I could meet up with people who are nice, or maybe you could suggest somewhere that I could go. Maybe you'd like to lend me a bike. I always do everything on a budget, absolutely. And I'd make a video of the whole thing, so if anyone wanted to be in that, that would be nice. Or maybe you've got somewhere, you know, a hotel or something like that where I could stay, and I don't know, some sort of community thing would be nice. I've always wanted to go to a rodeo, so that would be good as well. So I'd like to plan a trip, and my trip has to be in September, around the beginning of September, 2 weeks maximum, less potentially, but definitely not more, because I have time restrictions. But I'm sort of free as to where I go and what I do. But it would be good to go away. And I do love going to America. I love Texas. I love rural Texas. It's just that whole worry, I suppose, being on, you know, as I said, being on my own with the knee, you know, with the sort of memory of the accident, which I'm not quite sure if I've processed yet properly. Hello, squirrels. So do you have any suggestions? Is there anybody nice? Millions of you are lovely. Anybody nice who could think of something or suggest something for me? I'd like to explore Oklahoma more. I've always wanted to go to Arkansas, and I know I love ZZ Top, just love ZZ Top, and I've always wanted to see ZZ Top in America, and I know that ZZ Top are playing in Memphis in the second week of September. That would be good. So things like that, things to go to and places to go and people to meet, it would be great. And I know that the last time, well, 2 years ago when I went, and I told you it was a difficult time for me, and I took my GoPro, but I forgot to take my mount, so I ended up tying with a bootlace my GoPro to the front of the bike, and it just sort of kept falling down, which I didn't realise. And then most of the time I was just sort of filming the road. So, but this time I'll do it properly and make a good video. But it would be nice to have other people involved. So if you can think of anything, it would be great. Oh, and with bikes, I'm ridiculously small. Well, I'm 5'4", so I always have to have a low seat height. But I could do with a holiday, and I could do with some jolliness in my life. As I said, this is getting much better. My chin has healed absolutely. There's a little scar which you can't really see most of the time. That's getting better and better all the time, and smaller, and I have to stop touching it. It's weird not riding at the moment. I mean, it's horrible not riding at the moment. And this whole thing, you know, with me and the Chinook, and I always sort of thought of it, I'd had it for 6 years, and I always used to think of it as my sort of grumpy grandpa that had this great character and look after me, and but not having that, not being on that, is difficult. And as I said, not being able to wear jeans or trousers, and then thinking, I've actually got Kevlar leggings, but you know, with padding on the knee, which would be great, but anything touching this knee really hurts. But that should be better in a few weeks. So what I need is a nice, good, lovely, exciting, safe and happy holiday. So anyone, anywhere, suggestions, invitations would be greatly received. In a minute I'm going to strip the electrics back and hopefully fix that, and then I can get out on that, because that hire bike was horrible. It did work when I put the side stand up, so thank you everyone very much for that. And it was working, it was just me that couldn't make it work. But then I didn't want it to work. It's horrible, it sounds horrible, it's a horrible riding position. But this one is lovely. So as soon as I can put some jeans on, then I'll be on this one, riding it to work. Okay. You get on with it now. You go to help. You can get a scalpel. And check those electrics.